Kendra's bad movie review.
Is it time for your bad movie review?
It's time.
Oh, yay.
Today's video coming to us recommended from a fan of the podcast.
My dad recommended this.
Yeah, a fan. A fan.
Fine.
He recommended John Carpenter's very first film. This was Dark Star.
Now, John Carpenter, what has he done before? That name sounds so familiar. Dark Star from 1974, but what other movies has he done?
Halloween.
John Carpenter.
Starman.
Okay.
Starman. Big Trouble in Little China.
Holy cow, really?
John Carpenter, he did the original The Fog. Christine. He's done a lot of really successful horror movies. So, of course, when I heard that this was John Carpenter's first film, I was all in.
Really? Okay, so you're like, I'm going to do it. Okay, well, I'll bring up a clip here, and you can begin the review, I guess. Yes.
Yes. So this movie was created in 1974. This joins the team after a team of space explorers after they've lost their commander. They are on a mission to seek out, quote, unstable planets and destroy them. For some reason, they're going to destroy these unstable planets, probably so we can colonize space.
So they're destroying planets. Probably would destroy on themselves. Okay.
So they are, of course, this team. They're a little bit jaded after years of space travel.
Look at that, 1970s, huh? They all look 70s. Wow. Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't excuse my comments. I'm just in awe.
So they are, of course, jaded by years of space travel in what is now a failing spaceship. They say they've been there only 20 years, but they've been there for a total of 20 years. They've been traveling on this mission, but they've only aged 3 years. Oh. So the first thing that struck me about this movie, you saw the stars if you were watching us online, but the stars are coming by, and it looked very much like Star Wars. So the first thing that popped into my head was like, my goodness, when was Star Wars made? Which it was made in 1977.
Okay, so Star Wars was after this.
It was.
Look at those effects right there. You see that? That's great. Okay, go ahead.
Now, this was actually a film that you joined me in watching, so I do want to open it up to you a little bit. Do you have any impressions that you would like to share with the audience?
The slow pace of it kind of remind me of the Kubrick film, 2001, Space Odyssey. Was it before that?
No, it was created, 2001, A Space Odyssey was created in 1968.
So that predated this. So
it did.
It did. Okay, so they were trying to grasp. There's a little bit of that 2001 Space Odyssey feel with this one.
Yeah.
There are differences, of course. The sound being one of them, I noticed.
Well, I don't know if it was the quality of the video we were watching or what, but the sound quality was just bad. The people, we just had a really hard time listening to them talk. And all the sound effects were really loud, the beeping and the whirring and everything. Compared to the people talking, it was just completely unbalanced. So the sound quality was really bad, in my opinion. Yeah. And like you said, it started really slow. It reminded me also of another sci-fi film called The Andromeda Strain.
What's happening here? The Andromeda Strain. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. A ball is attacking a guy here.
That is the pet alien, or excuse me, the mascot alien that the ship has.
Okay.
So that character right there was told by the ship's computer, like, all right, it's time to go feed the alien. And he's like, oh, man. And she's like, well, in our defense, sir, you were the one that said the ship needed a mascot. So it is kind of funny. There are jokes, and the alien.
Is it dry jokes? I mean,
I don't know how to describe the jokes. They happen in such a way that if you're not really paying attention, or like I said, you can't hear them, right. It's unenjoyable. But the jokes, if you're paying close enough attention and if you're able to hear them, they are very subtle and they are kind of funny. I feel like the alien is this classic something that has been referenced in pop culture that I never probably recognized the reference to, because it is a balloon-shaped alien with like these little ugly duck feet on the bottom, and that's all the alien is.
The mascot alien thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
You mentioned Andromeda Strain. What are the connections with that?
Just that it was a very slow movie, Andromeda Strain was. Andromeda Strain takes place on Earth. It never really goes into space, but it is a sci-fi. But it was just so slow, and so the slowness of it reminded me very much of these two movies. Now, like I said, my negatives were the sound quality and that it was a slow start. My
the sound quality was bad. Like literally, I don't know if it was YouTube. You can watch it for free on YouTube
right now,
but you're right. You could hardly hear some of the background talking, and then the sound effects were fucking terrible. Like it was really bad. Like almost like an alarm clock going off for like 5 minutes at a time. Sometimes in the movie, it's like, man, like the elevator shaft.
Lots of beeping and whizzing and exactly.
So
the sound effects were louder than the people talking, but the background music, I was quite impressed by the background music. I felt like it did a good job of building tension throughout the film, especially the elevator shaft scene, which I found as one of the most entertaining scenes in the movie, with the alien, actually, as a matter of fact.
Oh, really?
So
is that the one we saw where he's bouncing around in the hall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
all right.
Yep. So that's all the elevator shaft. So the background music was quite good. And if you can make it to the alien scene, the rest of the movie actually gets better from there.
Okay, so it kind of grows with like your attention span, right? As long it rewards you for sticking with it.
Exactly.
Even if you don't know, it's like one of the Stanley Kubrick's things. Like you kind of don't know what's going on in the beginning.
No,
they kind of just
idea.
throw you into it, and you have to like watch. And you're like, oh, these, they don't like each other. We're gonna get into the finale of it. We will do a spoiler alert. So if you want to go, I'd say maybe 5 minutes into the future, you want to watch Dark Star. It is on YouTube now. Or even after we do talk about it, it's worth it. So let's get into the finale and what happens at the conclusion of this movie, and then let's get your rating system out of this.
So, as I said, their mission is to find out unstable planets and destroy them. So they are...
Spoiler alert!
On their way to a planet, and they arrive at the planet, and they go to drop the bomb to destroy the planet.
Yeah.
And as this is happening, one of the guys is in a airlock, and he's trying to fix broken equipment. That's another one of the challenges that they're dealing with consistently, is broken equipment all the time.
Right.
And when he's in there, an error happens, and the bomb won't drop. It's armed. It's going to explode in 14 minutes.
Right.
And it obviously the explosion is large enough to destroy a planet, but it will not drop from the ship.
So they're freaking out. And I think this is a bomb right here. That's the one with the number 20 on it. That's a bomb right there.
Yes, bomb number 20,
Right.
Disarm yourself. And they're arguing with the bomb, which is quite funny because the bomb speaks like you and I.
Yeah, the bomb is AI. The bomb is self-aware. So
Yes.
The bomb, and they, to launch it, it's not even a push a button. They just have to ask it, right? They can say, hey, bomb, launch yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so it won't launch. And the lead guy, he goes out there and he starts talking to it in an effort to give it a crisis of faith, essentially, so that way it won't explode because he thinks that it won't want to destroy
Is it going
itself.
out right now?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So
That's the bomb.
what ends up happening is he is successful in that the bomb goes just a second and it goes back in the ship because it wants to think about its existence and whether or not it exists and if it's experienced enough for it to explode and fulfill its destiny as an exploding bomb. And right at that moment, they go to let him in, and the other guy shoots out because he's in the airlock. So he goes to get him, and as that's happening, the bomb is quoting the Bible, and then it says, "And let there be light," and it explodes.
Yeah. There's a thing in there with the bomb saying, like, before me there was nothing. Like, the bomb, like, says it is the Big Bang, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So the bomb says, let there be light.
It explodes.
And
So
super spoiler alert coming up with the ending.
yes. So the two people in the ship obviously die, and then one. Earlier in the film, one of the guys had been talking about the Phoenix Lights and it's traveling all across the universe. And so he sees them and he starts to go towards them. And he's really excited because they'd been on the ship for 20 years and he'd been fascinated by this.
Right.
So he gets into the ship, or he gets into the lights and he kind of goes away. And then the other guy, he had been talking earlier about how he had missed surfing back on planet Earth. And
The one with the fro?
yes.
Really?
The one with the fro.
Nailed it. Okay.
And he's falling towards the planet, and the guy
He's in space and he's falling towards the planet.
yeah. The other guy says to him, he says, when you go into the atmosphere, you're going to burn up. And he said, what a beautiful ending to die as a falling star.
Wow.
And so the guy, then he says, you know what? I think this is going to be all right. I found a piece of the ship's debris, and he gets on it like a surfboard, and he surfs into the atmosphere.
Just like that. Just like it was right there.
Yep.
Boom. And he surfs the atmosphere.
He surfs into the atmosphere, and then he dies. So it's one of those films where everybody dies. Spoiler. So,
wow. Dark Star, Kendra. Well, we're upon us, and I got our nice sci-fi background for today to bring this up. But I guess it's beginning to be the moment of truth where you rate out of 5 Starship Troopers is the rating system. Now, you came up with this rating system.
I did come up with this rating system, and so
the
if you get
rating.
If you get 5, then it's the best movie. It's a great like a B film, and that I would totally recommend it. You need to watch this film now if it's 5 Starship Troopers. Now, this film.
Do we have? Can I go one by one? I'm like, do we have one trooper? And you can say yes.
I like that. Okay. I like that. Well, let me.
Yes, finish your synopsis.
Okay, so. One of the things that I really, as I was watching this film, it occurred to me that this movie is a wonderful metaphor for the dangers of getting too comfortable in your job, and how becoming sloppy in your work and office politics can lead to mistakes. And, there's a funny scene where they're telling the same stories to the same people. And so that poeticness of the synopsis, and that really actually raised the score quite a bit. The bad sound brought it down. The slowness in the beginning brought it down. But ultimately, I would love to see this movie get remade, and I am ready to tell you my score.
Okay, all right. So let's bring it up. Okay, the trooper rating, Kendra, do we have one Starship Trooper?
We have one Starship Trooper.
We have at least one Starship Trooper. There he is in all his glory. It's the captain. Kendra, does Dark Star receive 2 Starship Troopers?
It has 2 Starship Troopers.
Boom, 2 Starship Trooper rating. Okay, all right. Out of possible 5 total?
Out of 5,
okay.
Yes.
Kendra, does Dark Star get awarded a 3 Starship Trooper rating out of 5?
Yes, it does. It has a 3-star rating out of 5.
Kendra, does it have a 4 Starship Trooper rating out of 5?
No, it does not.
Okay, so there you have it. Dark Star, your Starship Trooper rating, 3 Starship Troopers out of 5. Very good. Now, it is available on YouTube, like we said earlier. Would you recommend them go watch it? It's only an hour long or something, right?
It's very short. It is only an hour, like you said.
Yeah.
That's also why I would love to see it get remade, to have the sound quality improve. I really feel like it is poetic. It does do a lot of justice. So I would love to see somebody go out and remake it and make it a little bit longer, please, with less boringness in the beginning.
Well, I mean, it was, I got to say, for being an hour long, it kind of felt like 2. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess they had a lot to, it's astronauts in the 1970s. So how cool can you make it?